Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Somebody's really loud right next to me. Let's just go ahead and mute that airplane sound right now because we are in Los Angeles, California, where the sun was peeking out of the clouds there for a moment. I was hoping the song was going to end a little bit sooner, but now look at this. Look at the clouds moving back in, kind of casting a shadow. So cool. Good to see you guys. It's a busy LAX today. I've been plane spotting here while we've been waiting at the, or been waiting for the countdown to commence. So there's some traffic around, which is pretty cool. We are on VATSIM. We're going Los Angeles to Salt Lake City. Now, there's three things we need to get off my chest right away here. Make it 4. Callie Simmer has just dropping the 10 gifted subs right out of the gate. Callie Simmer, thank you so much, man, for the support. Hey, Callie Simmer, we're right up your alley today in Cali. I was actually just here in Los Angeles 3 days ago. We'll talk about that later. Got a whole story for y'all. But Callie Simmer, thank you for the membership gifting. I'm about to release a shorts video here pretty soon, and all you members will be able to get eyes on that. So shout out Callie Simmer. Thank you so much, man, for that. Appreciate you. Let me check the alert box situation here. So we, we got our thing going on. I think it's good. It's good. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and pause the alert box, I think. Oh no, I think it's not dinging anymore. Oh, no, it's dinging. Okay, yeah, we'll pause the alert box here. But appreciate you, Callie Simmer. Thank you so much, man. All right, so that was number 1 off top of my chest. Number 2, look at this reflection. I was sitting here and this caught my eye. On the top of the baggage cart, honoring those who serve is being reflected on top of the baggage cart. Are you kidding me? On the reflection? That's just insane. That's insane. Okay, so that's number 2 things on my mind. Number 3, this livery is absolutely fire, courtesy of Al Ayubi. He posted it up on the INI, I think it was on the INI page. He posted it on there, and it's also in our Discord. He posted in the liveries section. Thought it was absolutely awesome, so shout out to him for creating this livery. And number 4, a little bit deeper than that, this livery here is not just words, and I want to take a moment and thank all of the veterans who are serving, who have served. I know there's a couple in chat, couple in the Discord. This livery says it best, honoring those who serve. So this stream is kind of for you, just a pseudo shout out to all the armed service members, men and women, defending and doing things all over the world. So appreciate y'all. I'm ready to get this thing going here. I tried to pull myself out of the 737 with the commercial members about 5 or 6 times. I don't know. You guys kept voting for it. I said, what about 737 versus MD-80? It was 7371. What about 737 versus the BAE 146? 7371. So unfortunately, or fortunately for you who want to see it, we are in the PMDG 737-900, which, I don't hate the 737 by any means, or I don't dislike PMDG, so it's going to be a fun little mix-up. I am curious to see how this airplane flies in comparison to the other 2 737s that I fly on Microsoft, the 700 and the 600. I know the 600 being an absolute rocket. The 900 here, I have not done a full flight A to B in it yet, but I did fire it up and I did a takeoff just to see how it felt, and it definitely feels a lot more sluggish. Sluggish? Interesting word. Sluggish. So, it's going to be, I'm very curious to see how the aircraft handles as we take it up on our flight over to the beautiful Salt Lake City Airport. I was kind of debating on the route. This was one of my favorite routes to fly in X-Plane 11 when we had all of our Orbix and all that stuff, just because it's such a pretty route. There's a lot to look at. So that's what we're going to do today. And I was just in LA 2 days ago, like I said. Yeah, I was right here at LAX, and then I was flying eastbound. We'll talk about my 2-day trip that I just went through. It was a 2-day trip that felt like a 4-day trip. There was a lot of stuff going on, some really, really heavy turbulence we had to deal with. Matter of fact, there was a couple airplanes. I think there was a fatality on a private biz jet. I think a Lufthansa diverted for severe turbulence, and I was flying through the same air in the same airspace, and let me tell you guys, it was absolutely rough. So we'll get into that once we get top of climb. A little bit of a cruise over to Salt Lake City today. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. Some quick shout outs here in chat. Alex5150, good to see you. Bill Barrett, Callie Simmer, of course, thank you again for your support. Chance, Chris Duper, Digital Merc, Furry MLG, Heinz Meister, probably totally butchered that, but welcome. Jacobs, James Minton, Jeff L, Lumen Officer. Man, I keep screwing that one up too. I'm just calling you Lumini. Lumen Lumini. Lumini? I don't know. Next to you, good to see you, Romulus, Scott, Scooby, Slam, Cannon in the house, Steven, and Tiger Dude. Slam Cannon, I saw your name in the chat there. You're 0.50, right, in the Discord? I never got back to you, did I? Man, I'm an a-hole. Well, if you're okay with it, why don't we go through, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it up in Cruise. We can kind of do some typical airline interview questions, things like that. So sorry about that, man. I'm so bad with DMs. I know a lot of y'all send me DMs every now and then, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible with responding and or reading them. So, all right, James Minton, you're still a cicada. Nice, man. Good to see you. Good to see you here. All right, let's get the sounds up a little bit here. Looking good. Let's get into this beautiful cockpit. We already got a PDC, which is pretty cool, from LA Tower. They are online. South Tower is online. Center's online. So it should be pretty good. Am I a morb head? No idea what that is. Enrico Dutoit, welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks here on the chat, and for all you gifted members too. Make sure you get that exclamation point welcome in there as well. You see all your new perks here on the channel. So here we are, the lovely 737-900, guys. What's different about it? It's a 737. The cockpits are pretty much all the same. One other little thing to note though, like the 900, and I know like all of Southwest's new 800s and Maxes that they're getting, they have the new start switches down here. So I've got that I've changed that to be implemented there, which is kind of cool. You can do that on the 6 or 700 too. PMDG is, pretty good with having consistency across all of their models. So pretty sweet, nice little placard up here. I think this is, I don't know if this is a livery thing or it says slats will be full extended when beyond 25. That's because we have the short field performance package on there. I've been kind of tinkering with the box in the inside here to kind of look at some of the options and stuff, kind of mess with it. We do have the heads up display, or HGS, I should say, which I got to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people like the HGS, but I am just not a fan of it in civilian airplanes. I've flown some DCS stuff and I used the HUD, and it's not. I feel like it's almost too much information because you're looking out right here, and then you still have all your information here. If you just had a HUD, that's one thing. But when you have a HUD and then my eyes have been trained for years, looking at my PFD. So when I have a HUD and a PFD, I just feel like there's too much going on. But that's me personally, and I think if you had a lot of practice with it, it'd probably be able to kind of get used to it, per se. I think probably who is it? Is it Southwest or... I think there's a couple of U.S. airlines that actually it's in their SOP that if the HGS is installed, you are to use it even on a visual approach. So, it would just be an SOP thing. We don't have it in the Airbus, so I don't have to worry about it anyway for the time being. But if you set HGS to VFR mode, it's a bit easier to manage. Ooh, interesting. I might tinker with that. We'll have to check that out in Cruise because, like I said, I'm not really familiar with too many of the options and additional options that are very specific to the Boeing here. But I'm actually pretty excited. One last thing I wanted to say here before we fire up this airplane completely, and that's just because I see it all the time, and I'm like, why is it the Mini 321? Everyone's like, the 737-900 is so cool, and it's just not a dig on the 737-900, but the 737-900 is actually almost 10 feet shorter than an A321. A321 is 146 feet. I believe the 739 is 138, something like that. So it's a good 6, 7, 8 feet shorter than a 321. And everyone gets concerned about tail striking the 737-900. Believe it or not, the tail strike pitch attitude of a 739 is right about 10 degrees. On the A321, it is 9.7 with compressed struts. So the tail strike limit is actually closer on a 321 than a 900. So if you're concerned about flying the 739, tail striking it, and you fly the 321, maybe on X-Plane or whatever, don't worry, because you still have about the same tail clearance that you would on a 321. Now, what's interesting as we talk about tail strikes here real quick, Alaska, real world, this happened, I think, last month or maybe even a couple of weeks ago, maybe not even that long ago. There was a glitch in the software for Alaska, and there were two 737-900s departing to Honolulu from, I believe it was Seattle. Was it Seattle? And the glitch that they had in the software was shifting their CG, and basically I don't know how it all went down, but they had incorrect perf data and perf numbers for takeoff, and both of them tail striked, I think, within 10 minutes of each other. So two tail strikes within, I don't know, less than an hour. I think it was I honestly think it was probably like 10, 15 minutes of each other. They both had tail strikes because of incorrect performance data that was being uplinked to the 900, and they were both going to Hawaii. So pretty interesting. 2 tail strikes within 6 minutes. There we go. A8 DFW spotters got it. That sounds about right. 2 tail strikes within 6 minutes. Talk about sketch. I'm curious. That would have been an interesting flight to be on the back of, especially if you're sitting back towards the end. Jack Murphy, welcome to Commercial Pilot, sir. Thank you so much for becoming a member on the channel. ! Welcome for you new perks. If I didn't already say that, man, thank you so much for joining. Benny, thank you for the continued support as well. 26 months, man. Look at those V1 status bars right there. Pretty sweet. Happy to see you as well, Benny. Hope all is well. It was a Max 9 and an NG that had a tail strike. That's crazy. Yeah, so anyway, Max Kelly says, I've switched types from the 320 to the 7.3, and I always forget to deploy the HUD on final, even if I tell myself I'll use it. Interesting. So, Matt Kelly, are you, I'm assuming then you're flying, obviously you're flying them in real life. What is your opinion then of the, getting used to that HGS? Are you getting more used to it, or is it still kind of like a lot of info? I don't know. It's something as, someone who's only flown the 7.3 in the sim here with the HGS, I just feel like I might have a hard time getting used to it. But all right, let's go and get this airplane fired up here before long. We're going to get the battery switch on. We'll get the emergency exit lights armed. You can see them go ahead and turn on, and we'll go ahead and turn on the ground power, which is going to get all set up here. Now, I'm not really doing anything in any particular order. It's just kind of the way I set it up. I'm sure there will be plenty of comments and plenty of assistance from y'all in the chat to help me out here, so hopefully I don't forget anything. We got our position light on. We'll get the logo light on because guess what? You guessed it. Chicks dig logo lights. Let's get the hydraulic pumps off. I think it's off for push. For someone told me that. I don't remember. Anyway, we should start at the top. Let's get our align nav on our ADIRs. 1, the 2, those are coming on. Everything looks good. We'll leave the yaw damper off for now. Fuel pumps can stay off. We're on ground power, which is cool. Seatbelts can stay off. We got our lights set. While I'm going up the panel here, our cruise altitude, just so I don't forget, what did we file? We filed 370. So I'm just going to dial that in since I'm sitting right here right now looking at it, or else I will forget. 370 in the window. That is set. I got the new pressurization panel as well. Landing altitude, I think we're going to put it on our return airport, right, in case we have to come back around, and then we can put it on our destination. So I think 50 feet here for LA, that should be fine. Everything else looks good here, and that all looks good there. Cool. So that's set. I'm going to go ahead and juice up some of the background lighting here. We'll get the floodlight and the background lights on. I thought if I double-clicked it would... I thought it used to... Oh, there we go. I don't know. I thought you could double-click and bring it all the way up. That looks good. Coming down here, we do have our clearance already, which is pretty cool. Let me get the squawk code in here. You get such better performance with the PMDG versus the Phoenix. MJ, you're not the first and only person to say that. A lot of people have much better performance with the PMDG. That is one thing that I don't think anybody can take away from them as a dev, is they have so highly optimized the 7.3 series, whether it's the 600 all the way to the 900. It is very, very good on frames. There's no question about it. What is the beacon code here? I just saw it. Oh, it's 2427. 2427 is set, and we got a transponder is in transponder mode. That looks good right there. All right, we'll come down here. I already have some FS actions happening, so let's go ahead and start with that. Is there a podcast or any discussion you plan on having on your opinion, or on the opinion of current state of the safety systems, all the incursions, loss of separation events recently? DFW Spotter, I haven't done one recently, but the next one, that's definitely going to be a topic of conversation, man. You're writing a paper and doing a presentation on it soon. Interesting. All right, well, maybe we'll have to get into it. Maybe we'll have to do a special pod the next couple of days. The all-elusive podcast. All right, ground services, I already have them set up here. We're going to basically just start. Let's go ahead and what do we need for fuel today? According to SimBrief, our fuel load was, I should have looked this up, block fuel 17.9, and I'm kind of a noob, so let's just make it an even 18,000 pounds of fuel. I had a very interesting Very interesting fuel scenario in the Airbus on my last trip as well. We'll have to get into the whole thing here pretty soon. But let's go ahead and get the box loaded up while we get the fueling going. We're going to put in our reference airport of KLAX. That's going to go there. We're going to go next page, GPS left, bring it back, paste it there. Route LA, Salt Lake City in the box. Roscoe, what's up, man? Good to see you. 15 months of support. Appreciate you. He says, ground gripping compromised airplane. Should have stopped at the Dash 800. I don't disagree with you there, Fly-by-Wire for the win. I don't disagree with you there, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board, man. Hope all is well up there in the Northeast. I think y'all were having some snow earlier, weren't you? My sister said she was having some snow. She's in New York, though. A couple of days ago. All right, here we go. We can expect to departure out of here off of, I'm hoping they'll give us 2-5 right. I don't want to taxi all the way around, but they might give us 2-4s, but I'm going to put 2-5 right in the box. We're on the Orca 5 departure. That's going to go there, and the transition is, look, I'm just making sure with clearance everything is the same. I should have verified this. Orca 5, Las Vegas Q70. So there we go. Las Vegas transition, route, activate, execute. From there, we're going to join the airway Q70 to blip, Q70 to the blip intersection, Bravo, Lima, India, Papa Papa. Execute. From there, we're going to pick up another airway, Quebec 842. I feel like I was just on this airway. Quebec 842 to win in, W-I-N-E-N. Execute, and then MLF. That's not McAllister, is it? It's MLF. Milford. Direct to MLF. Execute. And then arrivals into Salt Lake. I think the last I checked, wind was pretty calm out there. But we're on the Delta 6. Let's load in the ILS 34. Left would be closer. 34 left, Delta 6, MLF, and we'll take it off the transition. I didn't look at the transition. Let's just use, I guess we can pull it up here real quick on Navigraph. Let me see what we got in Salt Lake, just because I don't want to be, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to close that, and I want to look at arrivals, Delta 6, 16, right, in Salt Lake? Uh-oh. Oh, it is Milford, thank you. Seattle to packed for you, currently about to hit top. Nice, Jacobs. Nice, man. Flight Force, good to see you, man. Thank you for the continued support. Says my man. What's up, dude? Hey, man, life is good. Hope you're well, man. Thank you for joining the stream. Glad to have you on board. Good to have you on board, man. Hope you're doing well. Delta 6 RNAV. Oh, it's for southbound runways, huh? Interesting. Okay, well then we're going to change. We might have to change this around. We might land 16 right, or 16 left would be closer. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's just, since I kind of screwed that up, what we'll do is we'll close this up, and I'm just going to leave that. We'll probably change the runway. That's going to mess with some stuff there. But anyway, that's in there. Let's go over here. They're still fueling. Let's go ahead and start boarding. 117 passengers. They're going to start boarding, and we'll go ahead and start a loading of the baggages as well, and then we will do our perf data. Were you in Dallas for the weather? Yes, I took off basically in that. I have a crazy video departing, or when we were getting ready to depart, of just this massive front moving in. It was crazy, man. And then up in, we took off and we had to circumvent a lot of the massive thunderstorms that were moving in. But we got out before it hit. There was, I think, 2 or 3 tornadoes in the area, 70-mile-an-hour winds, 71-mile-an-hour winds at Dallas Love. Fences were blowing over, all kinds of stuff, man. It was crazy. So I escaped it, but if you're familiar with that massive weather system that just moved through the United States, basically started from, and you could basically say from south of Dallas all the way to almost Chicago, a little bit further south than that. I crossed that whole weather system 4 times in 2 days. The trip that I was on, crossed that system 4 times in 2 days. It was absolutely brutal. So, how do you get the display screen between the FMCs to display? What do you mean here? Let me see. Oh, this one here? You got to hit one of the buttons to make it display. I think it's right here. We got the engines and systems right down there. Or it's an option in your McDo if you need to change it. So, let's get the current ATIS. I'm going to hit the magic barrel ref key. LA ATIS is information Foxtrot. They are departing 2-4s and 2-5s. 3013 on the meter. 3013 is set. 130 at 5. So nothing to write home about right there. They evacuated both towers and terminated ATC service for 20 minutes at DFW. Really? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I know it got pretty rough. All right, that's all done. Route data. We can do a winds request. Does that even work? I don't know if it does or not. Let's go to the init, and here we go. 0 fuel weight, 109.8. But now, is that changing with... I always forget on the PMDG. Is that actually changing? We might have to wait till we're done loading. Yeah, it is actually changing. So, we're going to wait until we're done loading before we actually do that. We'll get the forward fuel pump on. We'll fire up the APU while we're sitting here. Battalion 86 with the €20 donation. Thank you so much for the €20 dono. Appreciate you. I appreciate your content a lot. Just finished your South America tour until Janeiro. Oh, nice. Awesome. Greets, Michael. Hey, Battalion 86, thank you so much for the massive €20 donation. Glad you enjoyed that South America tour. It was a lot of fun. We flew some incredible approaches down there on that South America tour. Rio de Janeiro was amazing. Down into, where did we go very south? Down in Patagonia. It was amazing down there, too. A couple airports way south. Had some stunning views. And some super high altitude operations. So that was a really fun tour. Thank you for the support, man. MLC is McAllister at the end of the Swiss Star. Oh, from Dallas. Okay. Oh, Matthew Kelly. Yeah, let me want to see what you said there. I got to scroll back. Sorry. It can be hard to acquire your bearings on the HUD, and you always look for a second. It seems like too much info for me. Having the flight director, vertical speed, and speed is all I feel it should have. You'll never use it in hard IFR. I find it useful on low-vis finals, but where you are still visual. Interesting, Matt Kelly. All right. Interesting perspective. Thanks for that. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Kind of weird. Maybe if I should really try to use it more in the sim, see if I can get used to it. Pasta was your favorite leg of that tour? Nice. Thanks to that, you fly in there once a week and it never gets old. Jacobs. Yeah, Pasto's. That's one airport that I think just went completely unnoticed in SimWorld because it really truly is a sweet approach and flight in there. All right, we're transferred over. We can go ahead and disconnect ground power. I am getting a little bit of a stutter when I change views. I think that's interesting. All right, so they're all done. So let's go ahead and get our latest 120.5. We can release all of them. They're disconnecting. And we are still boarding passengers, so we may actually need to change our zero fuel weight once again. Cruise altitude 370, we can put that right there. We got 4,000 reserve. Cost index is 55 today. I'm not going to execute that because I'm going to wait until the passenger boarding completes because I think it's still going to change our zero fuel weight. So I'm gonna hang tight on that. We can release the fuel truck though. 18,000 pounds required, 18 on board. That looks good. But we can go ahead and release ground power. Now I hope that doesn't pull the jetway away. I don't think it will it? No, cool. All right, so we're still sitting there. They're getting out of here. They're gonna drive off. And we're getting ready to push back and start. Looking forward to another Euro tour as well. Slam Cannon, yeah, we got to do another Euro tour. That would be pretty sweet, huh? On Microsoft, because the whole Euro tour was done on X-Plane, so it would be pretty neat to get in Microsoft, do some London City approaches with the 146, or maybe that Avro would be out. Oh, that would be sweet. Any 310 ops anytime soon? Kyle, well, according to the commercial pilots who get to vote in the polls, not really. They really wanted to see this one. So I was going to fly the 310 soon, or today, actually, but We're all kitted out for Boeing. I think the next stream will either be the 146 or the MD-80. We shall see. I wanted to fly the 146 because the VAAL, they just uploaded the old PSA routes, which would be pretty cool to fly. There's some PSA 146 routes we could fly on VAAL, which I think would be a lot of fun. ST, thank you for the continued support, man. Bank angle check right back at you, dude. Let's get the APU bleed on here because people are smoking out in the cabin. Let's go ahead and turn that off. We'll go pack auto. Left pack auto right now. See if we can get some air flowing in the cabin. Let's go ahead and go probe heats on. Window heats will come on after start. Maybe I got that backwards. We'll get the rest of our fuel tank pumps on. And we get the seatbelt sign on as well. Chime into auto or on. And the yaw damper is on, which is not going to turn on. There we go. Cool. Yes, Aviation Blaze. I sure did, man. I sure did. All right, are we done loading? Let's take a look here. 114 of 117. 2 more people to go. 2 more people to go. Let me reconfigure. I'm going to put terrain mode up on here. Bring it down to about 5. Barrow is set. And 3013. I guess we could set the rest of our stuff here. 5,000.
Hey V1, what's popping, Captain?
Haha, Albert1. Good to see you, man. Thank you for the $5 bank angle check. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by the stream. It's popping, man. We're popping the 73900 day. I'm actually pretty intrigued to see how this flight's going to go. I haven't done a single A to B test flight yet. I haven't even attempted a single landing in this airplane, so you guys get to see all of that for the first time here, which should be pretty sweet. So hope you're well, man. Thank you for the support. Bank angle check right back at you. Let me double check. We are 5,000, right? Cleared via the Orca, except maintain 5,000, 37015. Departure is 24.5. Beautiful. Do we need to call ground? Ground is not on, so South Tower is on. We'll tune them in 2095. Let's go ahead and throw them down here. 120.95. We'll actually set our radios properly this time, unlike the real fake pilot does half the time on this channel where I always forget. 120.5 is set, and departure is 24.5. Oh, tower is 120.95. Oops. I wish I could scroll these faster. 120.95 and 124.5. N2. Welcome to Commercial Pilot. I like your name. Short, simple, and to the point without N2. No one's going anywhere, man. N2 vibes. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for your support. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks here on the channel, bud. 2095, 24.5 is set. I can hear them. I think he can hear me. I got my push to talk working. We'll call him after push. Hey everyone, just took my first flight less than an hour ago in upstate New York. We did one touch and go and a full stop. Dude, Cole, Solenberger, that's fantastic, man. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was as fun as you had hoped. That's awesome. Upstate New York's got to be pretty this time of year too. Well, actually maybe not because it's still a little bit cold. I was thinking springtime, but it might be a little early. All right, execute that. That's our new zero fuel weight, 128.9. I'm going to mute the V-pilot to N1 limit. Let's go ahead and set this. We are not going to derate today, so we're just going straight 27,000 pounds of thrust. Takeoff flaps will be 5. I don't remember if it's 5. And we got to get our CG was, what was our CG? Let me go back to the index. Perf. 26.2. What's that going to do to our trim for takeoff? 26.2, 4.4 on the trim. Scotty2, thank you for the 10-pound donation, man. What do we say? 4.4. 4.4 is set. Oh boy.
Funny that you were in LA. Yesterday I was driving on Sepulveda past LAX and a pilot was crossing the street in front of me schlepping his bag and I thought, wonder why he's walking to the hotel. Long thought about you, V1. Lol.
Oh, Kelly Simmer, thank you for the $10 bank angle check. Right back at you, man. Yeah, I was hoping badly that we were going to end up spending the night in LA because I really like our long stay hotel there, but unfortunately we had to continue on. They had us, we were late. We basically flew up to Canada to get to Nashville from Los Angeles. It was just a wild night. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And believe it or not, there's quite a few of you LA fans or Southern SoCal viewers on here. So when I was in LA, I was honestly thinking about Callie Simmer, Cam 321, Mike P, a couple of you LAers out there. I actually was thinking, man, I wonder what those guys are doing right now. So you guys crossed my mind when I was in LA, but thank you for the support. And Scotty 2 with the 10-pound dono, appreciate you, man. Thanks for the great stories and knowledge sharing. Scotty 2, it's my pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed listening, man. Thank you for that support. Very, very kind of you. Bad news. Looks like your FO stopped by the Taco Bell before the flight. Yeah, he's not going to show up today. All right, Murica Thrust. That's right, 350. All right, we don't need a push for start. We don't need a call for push. Let's make sure everything else is done. We got our trim set. 40, 41, 53 is set. I can just go ahead and I'm going to just leave that page up there. You know what? Let's try to be somewhat proper. We'll go return FMC. I'll put you on the legs page. There we go. RNAV Docker 25 right, clear for takeoff. That's what I can't wait to hear today. ATC is coming on. And let me do GSX pushback. That's the only thing I use GSX for on this one here. Prepare for pushback and departure. And we are Alaska Airlines. I wonder if they are able to pull the jet bridge. We'll see. But we're going to have to pull the chocks, aren't we? I think we have to pull our own chocks.
Southwest 1329 for
chocks are removed. Our brakes are set. Are they set? Yeah, brakes are set. All right, so he's out there with the pin. He's going to take forever. I don't know why. I think it takes forever in the PMDG. Oh, look at that. We're touching tips. All right. Let's get out of here. This is the 73900. 739. I'm going to see how this sounds. Now, my assumption is that it would sound much quieter than the 7 or 600. All right, we're going to hopefully get 25 right. Departure, we got all this looking there. What is our heading on takeoff? It's basically runway heading, right? So 2425, climate heading 251. So I'll just set 251 for now. And we got to set V2 as well. I keep forgetting to set this window here. Alberto D says, if you happen to be my pilot by chance, you want to respect your privacy, man. Real talk, man. Hey, Alberto, I would love to. I'd love to have you run into one of you guys out there on the line flying. I want to go nose right, tail left in the alley. All right, 251. Just the tip. And just like that, this video was marked not safe for children and demonetized. What was our V2 speed? 153. All right, 153 is set. We'll get the auto throttle later on. I don't actually know when they arm the auto throttle. Makes me nervous to arm it like at the gate with this thing. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's just me being an Airbus driver. Here's our Throttletek cam though. Let's go ahead and release the brakes. Brakes are released, clear to push. Let's go ahead and kill the pack. That's off. Everything looks good there, and we can start at will. So, we have a forward entry door open. Stand by.
Tower, USA 354, ready for taxi.
Stand by.
USA 354, 925 right, taxi via Bravo, Elliot, Twitter, tree 01 tree.
Sorry, didn't catch that. Could you say that one more time?
USA 354, 925 right, taxi via Bravo, Elliot, Twitter, tree.
Sorry, whoever I'm just about to block in the alley.
Taxi to 25 right via Bravo.
Well, let's just. Flight attendant's getting some air. Flight attendant's just getting some air. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Don't worry. We'll be fine.
RNAV to Docker, runway 25 right. Clears for takeoff, United 2214.
RNAV Docker. Had an unnighted cut me off in LA too. I wasn't too happy about that. Even ground was like, what are you doing? Luckily, I was paying very close attention, and I saw that he was going to come cut me off. But I was
yeah,
not
no
too
problem.
happy about it.
We'll wait. US Air 354.
I had an option to close it. Close it.
That's no problem. Take
Close
your
it.
time. US Air 354.
Did I hear a U.S. Air call sign? All right. Lights out. And I don't remember what the hydraulic configuration is. Someone's going to ground me in that. But let's go ahead and ground 2. We'll listen to the first one from outside view. Let's make sure it's starting. It is starting. Or from internal view here.
And we want to send to this tower. Delta
Right about here.
T
Right about max motoring.
09, got information. Foxtrot ready taxi.
Delta 2609 LA Tower, runway 2 for left, taxi via Echo.
Man, it actually sounds like LA today. It's so busy.
24 left, taxi via Echo. Delta 2609.
But the front's not clear because guess what? You're still on the headset. That must be a EU thing. That left clear, right clear. Like, I mean, just unplug the headset and show me that it's clear. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe some other, maybe one of you ground guys in chat can. I've never heard that. In all of my flying, I've never heard a ground guy talk to me like, oh, left clear, right clear. I mean, I've had hand signals. That's what you look for. Hand signals, pin, tow bar, and all that, but
Delta 1329, runway 2 for left, taxi via Echo.
we'll wait for the pin here. All 4 should be on for pushback. Rip. Sorry, Thomas Ray. There's a thing. We'll go ahead and give him this thing here. There we go. So he's going to wave off. All 4 should have been on for pushback. Rip. Well, we just pushed without hydraulics, so that's fun. And let's go ahead and let's ground number 1, shall we? That's going to go to Cont and grounding 1. Here we go. I love doing this. This is so cool. So we'll watch this one. We'll do proper max motoring on this one. But I like looking at the switch and then hitting the knob right here. It's so fun. 20%. I think it's right around 20, 22%. That looks close enough. Boom. Light it off, baby. Light off. Here we go. Sometimes in the summer we drive with the bus door open if there's no passengers. Nice. I've taxied with the direct vision window open. I've done that multiple times. Flight deck to sim uses at least 25%. Really? At least 25% before introducing fuel? Wow. Well, hopefully we didn't hot start. Maybe I was a little premature on that. All right, we have 2 good starts. That's going over to continuous. Gen 1, Gen 2. APU is coming off. That's off. Auto. Oops, I did it wrong. On, auto. 76 configurations there. We'll get the window heat on.
Let's go 5.
Everything else looks good. There's our lights. Flaps.
Runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo. And
5.
company in front of you, please follow them.
It is 25%? Okay. Flight deck to sim also pushes with the door open, so this is a legit stream now. Good.
354, I just realized there's a giant Toga line. You could, on the company, or correction, with the Alaska 8730.
All right, 125 RTO is set. Brakes release. We'll go up to the top of the alley and give him a call. U.S. Air. That guy's my hero. Alaska, or what are we? LA ground. Alaska 357 with Foxtrot in the alley, ready taxi.
Alaska 357 LA Tower, runway 25 right, taxi via Bravo.
25 right via Bravo, Alaska 357. Let's go.
Alaska 4236, ready to taxi via Foxtrot. Alaska 4236, perfect. Walk, 175. Squawk 4756, Alaska 4236.
All right, via Bravo. Most dangerous spot in LA Airport is right here and here. So we got a service road, clear left, clear right, and another service road right here. Clear left, clear right.
Actually, correction, hold a position. I got a giant conga line about to send to.
Conga line? XP streaming? All right, let's make the turn here. Oh, this is uphill. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we ran out of juice. Power, power. I think that was the click and drag bug again. I'm going to have to fix that. Using my tiller, which is pretty cool. Have I ever considered bringing a laptop and simming on the overnights? No, I have not, 350 Smooth. When I'm on the line, real world, after I get out of the cockpit, set the brake, the last thing I want to do is go to the hotel room and touch an airplane. Or an airplane sim, for that matter. I love flying. I don't know if I love it that much. But then you'd have to bring peripherals and all that. Why is our TCAS off? Because the switch is off. That's why. All right, let's do a takeoff config check. That looks good. Taxi light RTO flaps 5. Flight director 1-2 will get the auto throttle before takeoff. Everything else looks good.
236 from right 25 right.
Sweet.
Bravo. Give it to not one.
We do have one. We do have
Or,
1,000 pounds in the center, so let me go ahead and get the center tank pumps on as well. You can also do a config check by putting thrust levers up. See, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I just did. Man, beautiful LA. Hit the like button for juicy scenery. Oh, yes. Hit the like button. Here's the deal. We're going to Toga thrust this sucker. No flex. If we hit 100, I'm going to make it challenging. If we hit 170 likes, and there's only 224 watching, so it's going to be tough. 170 likes, we will go Toga from the external view. If we don't hit 170, we'll do Toga from the normal bland inside view like everybody does. But I'd be curious to do a Toga from outside view. So there's only 224 y'all watching, so it's going to take all of the above to help out. That's the target. Why do you taxi with TARA? Because that's him. I don't know what that's him wants or not. Because I tried it in the Phoenix where I just had it on auto or TA only, and they're like squawk altitude. So I don't know if there's a, I don't know, man. That's him thing. Obviously you wouldn't, and even on the ground you get TA only though. See, so you're not going to get RAs on the ground. But even real world, in the Airbus, when we run because we can run our checklist before getting down there. So like at this point right now, if I ran the takeoff checklist, it would be in TARA mode well before we got to the end of the runway. So it's all about your SOPs and everything else. But yeah, you're not going to get any RA on the ground. 163 for 175. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe we ran out of viewers. Maybe we ran out of thumbs up buttons. 165. I mean, just look how juicy does this sound right here. Man, you guys don't want to hear that? You don't want to hear that for Toga? Oh, there it is. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. That's a pretty good ratio with 230 watching, 176 likes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. It does help the channel, hitting the like button. It helps the algorithm for YouTube, and if you like seeing this kind of content, it does indeed help out. So I appreciate each and every single one of you.
3602, push start on 2 kilo crew face south.
Pushing start on 2 kilo crew, section south, west end, 3602.
All right, we're getting down here. In LA, a lot of times they'll have you hold short here, but we didn't get a hold short, so we're going to go all the way to the end. Now, there is a sign in real life that says no turn until cleared for takeoff. So basically, you can't turn the airplane to be 90 degrees from the runway unless you get cleared for takeoff. I wonder if that sign is right here. Monitor 2095 now. Nah. There's a sign like right here somewhere in real life that says no turn until cleared for takeoff or something, or until taking runway. So we're going to go ahead and stop right here.
Roger that, 8045.
Alaska 357, runway 25 right, line up await.
25 right, line up and wait, Alaska 357. All right, there it is. A line up and wait. I don't know the lighting configurations for all this, so we're just going to get them all on, except the wheel well. Line up and wait. Let's do this thing. Ooh, I got to do auto thrust while taking the runway. Man, this looks so good, guys. Do we have a flat tire? Or no, it's just a hill.
609, contact shortcut departures, yeah.
I'm looking at the attitude indicator. It didn't look quite level there. Hayden, welcome to the stream, man. Good evening. Can you bind yes, it's right there where it is, Aviation Blaze. The Toga button is right on the Throttletek where it should be, which is right here where my thumb is. I don't know how far. Oh, well, obviously I've misjudged that by a mile or two. I thought I'd have more distance on the tiller. Maybe I snubbed it. That's all right. 250-hour lineup here. Don't mind me while I eat up about 300 feet of runway trying to line up. All right, we are.
57 with 1305 on up to Docker, runway 25 right, for takeoff.
RNF Docker, 25 right, clear for takeoff, Alaska 357. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? You guys smash that like button, so I'm going to do two things. We'll go 50% here, then we'll go external for Toga. Here we go. Smash that yoga button. Oh, there's 50. And yoga. Oh, yeah. That is sweet. That was sweet. Sorry if you have headphones on. All right, N1 LNAV Toga. Dress set. I don't know. Check.
Yeah, 2078. Right now I don't see a flight plan.
V1. Rotate. Oh, I forgot they actually have fancy callouts in this thing. All right, nice and easy. Don't hit the tail. Positive rate. Gear up. LNAV. Fly with. Oh, that's cool. Look at that yellow spirit in the alley. That's cool. Oh, 20 degrees max, even if the flight director commands more for some reason. All right, there's our acceleration altitude. Let's get that nose down. See if I can sneak a wing view departure there. Oh, yeah. Look at the sun coming through the clouds over here. INI LEX is fantastic. It just adds so much. All right, there's flap 1 speed.
United 2078. Right now I got about 4 aircraft, but it's about to clear up. Gonna launch some left departure.
And flaps up.
Alaska 375, contact for departures, yeah.
Over departure, Alaska 357. He said 375, but I'm 90% sure he said, I'm going to go Command A because flying this thing and during the radio single pilot, I'm a noob. 24505 is not right. 245 is what I want. Elliot, don't step on him. 3.8 for 5 or L1, N1, LNAV VNAV speed.
357, circle departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000.
Confirm that was for Alaska 357.
Thanks, Alaska 357, maintain 13,000, sail to TV.
Climb and maintain 13,000, we're leaving 4.6 for Alaska 357.
Okay.
All right, 10,000. And up we go. He did say 10, right? Did he say 10? That's a fuel. That's normal as we're in the climb. And go, 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 go.
Number 0, X uniform, wind
Forgot to hit the button. N1 LNAV VNAV speed up to 10. Here we go. Man, what's the outside air temp? Yeah, let's go ahead and.
A minute here. I'm not sure if I'm going to get you out before the arrival on a 10-mile final.
13,000? Thank you, guys. I knew it was something else.
Delta 2609, Leo Airspace, only centers closing out, become money, count 22.8, have a good one.
Right, 22.8, Delta 2609, have a great day.
Cargo left 23 Tango Heavy, 5 miles.
Ooh, that's fire right there. Look at that, in and out of the clouds. Yeah, Benny, I agree with you, man. Default sounds on PMDG are
57, turn left
good.
Clipper, climb to the order departure.
left direct Clipper, Alaska 357. All right, left turn direct to Clipper. I'm going to do this first to get us started. Heading select to the left. And then we're going to go legs page, Clipper. I'm going to put it here. I can see that it is making a left turn. See how it's making a left turn? So let's go ahead and execute that. We'll continue in the left turn. 8.5, climbing 13,000. Slam, I know I saw that too. That cloud reflection on the wing, just freaking stunning, man. There we go. There's, I'm trying to find the best. I don't have the best wing views set up.
Radar contact, maintain 900,000.
Alberto, I agree, man. The engine sounds so good.
1050, runway 27, clear to land.
Airline 27
Wow,
is up.
sim is looking great today.
535, the RNAV stiff's got a heading on it. I think it's 236.
Why are we not turning more? Oh, I never hit LNAV. Come on, guys. Jeez. There's 10K. We'll go ahead and get those off because they're empty. I never hit LNAV. Man, this airplane. Everyone who thinks that we're going to have single pilot airplanes, obviously have not flown a 737 recently. There's the turn. Thank you, guys. Man, could you imagine flying 4 or 5 legs a day for 4 days in a row? Godspeed, Southwest. You guys work for your money, man. Mad respect. Mad respect.
24 right and then Peter 3012 visit the right one.
I mean, this
357 LA Center closing out. You can monitor time 122.8. How to go?
22.8. Thanks for the ATC, Alaska 357. Forgot to do that. Golly. I can't wait for the comments on this video in about a week. I'm like, you call yourself a real pilot? You didn't even do that. All right, 22.8 is set. Ignition's off, continuous. Oh, my word. That's the altitude alert. Let's go ahead and go all the way up to 370, though, because ATC is coming offline. We switched to Unicom. We're hitting some turb. 370. I got to hand it to PMDG, though. The performance in this airplane is awesome. I mean, the sim is just flying like butter. Just absolute butter. They have so well optimized this airplane. Look, we're taking the long way around. Since we're off ATC, let's go ahead and let's redirect this. Clipper, I know engine anti-ice is on, blah, 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 above 10C. So here we go. We'll turn that back off. Big Earn. Got to do some island hopping in Hawaii in his last vid. Looked kind of fun. I saw that video post. I never actually watched it. I'm going to have to check it out. Let's straighten out the line. Let's go direct to Coop. Let's go direct Coop. That looks better. Let's straighten her out. Direct Coop. 370, N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. Benny, I agree, man. The cockpit on the 7.3 is not awesome for comfortability. All right, we'll go into full screen cam here. Again, I'm going to get rid of the Throttletek cam. We're going to do a full hand-flown approach, though, because I want to... Using the Throttletek on the 7.3 is so much fun. So much fun, because you get that huge range of motion. Does FS Realistic add cloud turbulence effects? I don't use FS Realistic anymore.
No running software-induced tail strikes on Alaska today.
Stephen Aynard, thank you so much for the $7 bank angle check right back at you, man. I know, we pulled it off, guys. No Boeing software-induced tail strikes today. But, man, I was hoping we'd get to see some juicy LA, Southern Cal. But thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. We didn't tail strike. You just gotta kind of milk it there. You kind of nurse her off the ground. I mean, it's like any 321. You just gotta don't just yank back on the yoke. Well, what's the verdict on the Thrustmaster yoke, Roscoe? I really enjoy it, man. I think it is a. Say again. Salt Lake. I highly recommend the yoke, Roscoe. I'll bring it up again so you can see it. Like, the yoke is, for airliners especially, we'll go ahead and set standards. It's just so nice, man. It really makes a difference. The pendular pitch is all of the difference. I like it so much, it's so smooth that I use it even for what I would traditionally use is like my GA yoke for like the honeycomb for the King Air or 310. I use the Thrustmaster even in the GA airplanes now because it's so easy to manipulate a very gentle pitch moment. So highly recommend. The only thing I've done differently is I wrapped mine with like a tennis grip tape or whatever. It's just grip. It's not even a tape. It's just a tennis grip. I don't know how else to explain it, but it gives it a more meaty, not plasticky feeling. Because the external of the yoke is really cheap feeling. I'll be honest with you. The external texture feels cheap. It just feels like that rotomolded plastic. The honeycomb had that real nice rubbery finish to it. If this had that, it would have been a 10 for 10. But because it didn't, and I understand that, I mean, you know, you're going to save money somewhere, but that's my only negative I have to say about the Thrustmaster yoke is the way it feels without putting anything on it. You recently subbed to Big Earn. I like his content. Yeah, he's cool, man. I watch it from time to time. Does Throttletek sell the A320 mini throttle quadrant? Because I can't see. Yes, the mini box aviation mic, they should. Unless something has changed. I'm pretty sure they still do. I will be setting it up. I spoke with Roberto a few days ago. He wants to do some binding video as well for X-Plane. I know I did one for Microsoft, but when we get into X-Plane, which we will be flying X-Plane 12 here in the coming weeks because the fly-by-wire, the Tolless 320neo is due to release on March 20th. So we will be checking that out. I've said it before, is I just needed something to get me back in X-Plane, and that 320neo is definitely going to be the airplane to do it. I want to see what Tolless has done, see how they've implemented the Neo, and I've been flying Neos in real life for a while now, so it'll be nice to finally have a proper 320neo in that sim. We'll take a look at it, but I will do a binding video then. Wow, so I've been talking for, 3 minutes with my mic muted? Sorry about that. Let me scroll back to Preston Zimmerman's comment. How far do you have to sit back from the desk? I'm about one thigh length away from the desk. I don't know how else to tell you. Probably a foot and a half or so. You could always move your monitor closer to the front of the desk if that helps you out. But yeah, I do sit a little bit back from the desk because obviously you got the yoke. It sticks out a good, 10 inches or so. But it's not uncomfortable by any means, especially if you have a rudder pedal set correctly. Now, Kevin Thomas, I was talking about your question there. Does this 321 have a similar galley config to the 320? Do you need 5 instead of 4? Kevin, that will depend strictly on the FAA's requirement for flight attendants for seats, because you could have a 321 with different configurations, and I think you'd have less flight attendants required. But from what I understand, I think 5 is pretty standard on a 321. And, the galley combinations can really be operator specific. I mean, you can have a 320 with different galley layout and then a 321, just depending on how they order it from Airbus. But for me personally, yes, we require an extra flight attendant for all 321 operations just because of the amount of seats in the 321. Does it stick out as far as the honeycomb? I'm trying to look back at my honeycomb. I think it's maybe a little bit, but the thing that it has that the honeycomb doesn't have, let me show you here I'll pull it up. So I don't want to mess up my camera view, but like it does like have this thing down here, which is kind of not in the way, but you have to account for it. So there's part of the yoke is below the actual grip of the yoke. It's down here. But it's not, it's not uncomfortable. It just is, if anything, it's simulating having a big yoke between your legs, because that's what these guys do up here in the 7.3. I don't know. I don't think I could ever go back to a yoke-driven airplane. Look how tight this is. So, I'm just spoiled. I'm spoiled with my Airbus, I know it. Alright, 27 for 37. Do we have to worry about like our max cruise or anything like that? What's our target? Optimum and max. Max is 39, optimum 37. Nice, so we're going to 37. Everything else looks good. I like how, this is one thing I do like. It says your turbulence N1, 91. That would have been nice to have in the Airbus the other night. We'll get into that here in just a minute. Can I turn on some of these dash lights down here? Where are these at? I gotta turn on this panel. Here in Canada, we need 1 flight attendant per 50. I think that's the same in the US, man, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's about every 50 seats or so needs another flight attendant. That sounds right. Alright, we'll zoom it out. We'll get the terrain push button off. The traffic on. Scrolling it out. That looks good. There is no weather radar, but I'll have that on. And waypoint, no data. In case we need that. What's the position? Interesting. What's pause do? Position? Does that like show your wings or something? Huh. I'm gonna have to watch that closer next time we make a turn or something. Interesting. Everything else looks good though. We are cruising out. Oh, look at that. Now we're breaking out into some juicy views here. Cruise pace gives you optimum. Yep. A320 maybe in your future V1. Not if I can help it. Not if I can help it. Out of curiosity, is your offer of Neo? Yes, we do have Neos. They are becoming more and more popular. And I believe United's getting their XLR. Who's the first company to get the XLR? Is it JetBlue or United? Silly Boeing thing shows your true position zoomed in on the ND at low ranges. Oh, is really that all it does? Oh, that's kind of boring. I work on the US Air Legacy Airbus for AAL, and telling you I am not a big fan, just cool to fly in the sim. I work on the US Air Legacy Airbus. Oh, you work on a Benny. Like for, what, maintenance or cabin crew? Those old US Air Legacy buses are probably getting tired, huh? Probably getting tired. Yeah, I can see traffic. I already have the traffic button on. No traffic around. I think there's a couple guys behind us. Interesting. Climb thrust still 100.1. Interesting. I guess we don't need this anymore. We'll get rid of the engine page. Oh, we'll leave it like that. What is systems? Oh, we can see our brake temp and all that. I like this layout here. Keep this for emergencies, I guess. Thing looks good. Once we get to cruise, we'll do some external views. There's a realism view for you right there. If you want realism with the window in here. No tech ops folks I've met like the Airbus, flimsy built, so they say. That's interesting because I've seen some pretty gnarly impacts. Most recently, that 320 Neo Latam, was it Latam down in Colombia where it hit the fire truck? That thing hit it going almost 100 knots, came up, slammed back down, and all it did was rip the engine off. I say all it did, but I mean, airplane stayed intact. I'm sure it's a whole loss, but if it was a flimsy build, I think you would have seen more damage. Heavy bird and more or less the same thrust as the other 7.3 NGs. Yeah, doesn't climb all that well. Okay, so your maintenance Benny Benny, nice, man. Hey, do you have a shirt that says, if it's in the air, maintenance put it there? I think I saw someone walking around one of those shirts, one of the maintenance guys. True story, though, without maintenance, man, none of these birds would be flying. So, mechanics, true unsung heroes of flying, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Is it story time yet? Almost, 370. Once we get the seatbelt sign off. We get the seatbelt sign off, I will tell you all about my 2-day trip that feels like I just flew for 4 days. I actually have that. I was trying to figure out what song I wanted to use for my shorts video, but I don't know. Might have to re-upload it. Would you ever switch to another airplane at your operator? Liam Arnold, as far as I am concerned, and I think a lot of real pilots share the same sentiment, and this is in the U.S. anyway. I don't know how other countries do it, how other airlines do it within those different countries. But in the U.S., it's pretty basic. Your seniority is everything. So whatever you're trying to achieve, that's what I'm going to fly. Like, if I had to pick a 737 to be based at home, I'm going to pick a 737 to be based at home because I care about being based where I live. Doesn't matter what it is. If I want to fly schedules that don't have a ton of red eyes and have cool flying, I'm going to fly the Airbus, or it just depends. Like, I don't base what I want to fly just on the aircraft type. It's more like, how many days off can I get? What's my seniority going to be on that airframe? What's the overall quality of life, quality of work on that airframe? That's the airplane I'm going to pick. But most importantly, it's really where I'm based, because I don't want to commute. Like, I wouldn't pick, I want to fly A350s. I'm going to go be based in Detroit or whatever. Like, it's not, that's not how I think. Now, everybody's different. I know some guys, especially if you're just getting in, you want to fly wide body, maybe that's your goal. Your dream is to get on a wide body 7.6, 777, 350. Then yeah, man, shoot, you're going to go for it. But really, it's all about the quality of life, quality of work. That's what drives the airframe for me. A move to Atlanta could mean a few more red eyes. Yes, definitely, Lauren. Definitely. Atlanta trips suck. So I got that going for me. That'll be exciting. When will you fly the fly-by-wire? Edmo33, not this week, because we're all configured for Boeing and yoke-driven aircraft now. I've got the Throttletek cam on, or I've got the Throttletek 7.3, and I've got the Thrustmaster yoke, all peripherals, they're all set up now. So we're going to be flying yoke-driven aircraft today, maybe tomorrow. However, it's probably unlikely. I have been away from home now for going on 7 days. So I will be going back home into the cloud of darkness, which is no internet service, no cell service, our new house tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'm going to jump on a flight, get home, and then I will be in the cloud of darkness until, what do we got? We have, when do I come back? Probably Saturday. Well, no, scratch that. I got to be there Saturday early, so Friday. Until Friday, maybe Friday evening. Maybe we could do a late night Friday night stream. Maybe we'll do something then. But I got a few days at home, and I'm going to basically disappear because, number one, there's no service, and number two, I haven't been able to be with my fam for a while. So here we are, leveling 370.77 Mach. That looks good. Everything is kosher, nice smooth ride. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Let's go ahead and get ready to jump to an, oh man, that view looks good. I'm going to turn the sim down a little bit. Let's get some, let's get some tunes going on here. BAE 146. Oh yeah, I wanted to fly it today, man. What's this song? Interesting. All right, well, I kind of dig it. We'll let it go for a little bit. Let's do an outside view. Oh man, look at that! I'm gonna turn the sim way down. Yes, please. That looks good. All right. Tower handling departure specifically. Oh, late next Friday. That's Northern Crossing FNO night. Ooh, featuring MSP O'Hare Detroit. I'm going to be on tower for that one. Lauren, I will definitely, if we stream, I will try to get up there then for that one because I think that would be pretty fun. But it all depends on when I'm going to be coming in on Friday. I got to commute back. Man, if the whims of democracy ever bring us to the 146, I'm finally going to flip. Steven, I know, man. I've been itching to fly the 146 too. I love that Just Flight 146. I think it's a great airplane. Honestly, it is the top 3 airplane in Microsoft, in my opinion. Of all payware add-ons in Microsoft, the 146 is top 3. And it's fighting for the #1 spot in my personal opinion. There are some great add-ons. A lot, some of them don't get the publicity that I think they should. But in my opinion, that 146, you could put it in first, second, or third, really, depending on how you do it. So I think the Phoenix is up there. And then I would throw in, if we're talking just staying with airliners, the 7.3, I mean, you got to put PMDG in there as well. It's such a well-optimized, good airplane. I think those are the top 3 payware airplanes in Microsoft right now. Oh, an L1011 will be absolutely awesome. Roscoe says, this is a quote from the thread I've been poking around on the 739. You better have some flying skills on a 900. This ain't Fifi. So my good friend from flight school, he was on a 73900. This will lead us into story time for my trip, but he was flying, I can't remember if he left LA or San Fran, somewhere on the West Coast, doing a red-eye eastbound all the way to northeast, somewhere in New York. And as they approached the Rocky Mountains, they were thrust into severe turbulence. They got a stick shaker, mountain wave, all of the above. And he said he'd been flying with a super senior captain. And he's like, that's the worst he'd ever seen coming over the range like that. Stick shaker and all, and trying to recover that 900 from high altitude was pretty gnarly. But, I mean, no injuries, nothing happened. Everything was good, so. Yeah, Lauren, that's why I wanted to fly the 146 today, because I saw that PSA announcement in the VAL. I thought that would have been a lot of fun. But Golden State, you will not regret a single penny spent on the Phoenix. I'm telling you right now, my friend, you will not regret a single penny on that. I hope you post some pics when you get it, because it's absolutely awesome. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this song because it's kind of like, I don't dislike it, but I don't know. I'm just going down the random list here. Interesting. Why are these? This is like Christmas songs. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Let's go back to an old playlist. Let's go to like an old playlist. How about, what's this one? We'll start here. All right. There we go. I had to turn it down. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. Ooh, this is going to be a nice. Oh, yeah. There's the view. There it is. That's the view we've been waiting for. Piedmont has been working hard on the sketch. Yeah, I saw it. I saw that alert come in there. I don't know. I really want to go fish tonight. But if the wind is bad, we'll do a late night stream. We'll do another late night. Not late night, but we'll do maybe an evening stream if I don't go fishing. I'm not saying we are. But the fishing right now is super good. Springtime, the bass are spawning. We're moving up. It's going to be fun. Anyway, all right, let's talk about my trip. So took off out of Dallas. When did this storm hit? I don't even remember. This is how I took it. Basically needed a full day to recover from this trip. When did I leave? Thursday. So I left Thursday evening, DFW, LAX. And like I already said, the massive dry line was moving in, thunderstorms. We took off ahead of it, and I think winds were gusting to like 35, 38 knots right just from takeoff, and the storm hadn't even got there yet. So took off, and we had to fly way south to get around this dry line, because this dry line that we kind of talked about it in one of the last podcasts, or actually on that Ameriflight stream, the cargo stream. But we had to go way down south, and as we were running south to try to cut around the storm, it kept building and billowing all the way up, and we got down all the way to the Texas-Mexico border before we could cut across, which was basically as far as you could go because you can't get into Mexican airspace without clearance or without being on a flight plan. I guess you could declare an emergency and go around it, but yeah, we kept going, and there was a massive supercell that was blowing up. And you could see it. You could literally see it billowing as we were flying. It was probably climbing at 1,000 feet a minute, the thunderstorm, maybe even more. I mean, you could just see it with your eyes getting bigger and bigger. And we thought we could top it. As we got a little bit closer, we couldn't top it. Like, okay, so we got to keep going around. We skirted all the way around it, got rocked pretty good. There's some pretty heavy turbulence associated with that weather system. But all in all, it wasn't terrible. We got on the back side of it, and that was pretty much it. There was really no other weather all the way into LA. So we go all the way to LA. Wasn't bad at all. Flew into LA. FO was actually flying. Did a fantastic job. Greased it on. I think we landed 2.5 left. We landed 2.5 left. And I think they might have put us on 2.4 right. I can't remember. Either. It doesn't matter. So we get into LA, and we're supposed to go to Nashville that evening. And this weather system had already been full blown out, tornadoes, 80-mile-an-hour winds going through Dallas, moving towards Nashville. And there was multiple fronts. So you had one main front, and then there was another front that was kind of out in front of it, and it was blowing up towards Nashville. So we were racing it back. And I got a message from my dispatcher. Oh, actually, let's back up. So I'm going to see if I can show you the whole U.S. Yeah, so let's do that. So we had to fly from LA to Nashville, which is somewhere over here. And this weather system was just like this. And on the paperwork, the dispatcher noted, hey, you can expect moderate turbulence starting at GCK, which I think is over here, just kind of northeast of Nevada or so. So not even at the halfway point yet. And hold on, I'm gonna skip this song too. I'm not really vibing with all these songs right here. I'm gonna get a different one. Well, we'll go here. So, because of the turbulence and this storm that was building, he gave us extra gas. I think it was like an extra 2,000 pounds, and then we also had to have an alternate, which was pretty far away. We had Indianapolis as an alternate because that was really the only escape route, was going all the way north. Either Indy, Chicago was getting hit pretty hard. Maybe Detroit, but Indy was the best alternate. So we have enough gas to go all here, come up north, and then basically go past Nashville and kind of fly back at an angle kind of towards the southeast or southwest, to get towards Nashville. So super long route of flight. I think it was scheduled 4:50 or almost 4:40, something like that. 4 hours and 40 minutes to get to Nashville from LA just because of the weather. We had to circumvent. And I'm looking at the paperwork and the fuel on board. There was a glitch that basically had our required fuel and takeoff fuel was only 300 pounds different. So our ramp fuel, I basically had 300 pounds to start up and taxi all the way out to the runway, take off, 300 pounds. Like, well, that's not going to work. So I'm on the phone trying to get that sorted. So we want to add another 1,000 pounds, but the problem is because of all the gas that we have for the route, adding 1,000 pounds is going to put us over our max landing weight in Nashville when we get there. So we had 34,000 pounds of fuel on board for this flight. I think full tanks is 37? I mean, almost all the way there. So we were going back and forth, kind of talking about the best option. We got some extra fuel on board. We were going to be below max, but that kind of pigeonholed us because you can't really you don't want to get any shortcuts because you really need to burn the fuel that you're planning on burning, because if you don't, now we're looking at being overweight for our landing in Nashville. So kind of walking that razor edge line there of too much fuel, not enough fuel. It was definitely interesting, and good. It was a good work with the dispatcher. It was good talking to him. We kept going back and forth and having good conversation. The best options. We talked about bug out routes, like, hey, if you get to this point and it blows up in Nashville, you can't get in there, where's our safe zone? Where are we going to go? And that was going to be to the north, to the northeast. Anyway, we finally take off. A little bit of a delay. We hit GCK VOR, which I don't know where it is on the map. What's this one? What VOR is this? Oh, Wriggle intersection. That's Wichita. It was before Wichita. Garden City. There it is right there. Or no, Dodge City. Maybe it was it? No, it's not. Is it Garden City? Yeah, GCK right there. There's Garden City VOR. So just prior to Garden City, I'll keep my mouse on it right there. We entered moderate, and I mean heavy moderate turbulence over Garden City. And the same night that this is happening, I believe it was a Lufthansa Heavy. I don't know if it was what airplane it was, either maybe it was, I don't know what they were flying, a 340 or something, out of Dallas. They had departed, and they ended up diverting because of a severe turbulence encounter, and the flight attendant got injured. So they start diverting, and that's like, okay, we got heavies diverting now. Flight attendants are getting injured. Everybody on the radio was talking about how bumpy it is. Are the rides better at this altitude? We tried every altitude we could find. Couldn't find a smooth ride. Everyone's in the same position. And that also, I just read an article today, that same evening, I believe, a corporate jet entered severe turbulence and actually had a fatality of one of the passengers because I don't know if the passenger hit the roof or what, but basically shattered the passenger's bones or skull, and the passenger passed away. So it was that's the first time I've heard in a very long time, guys, of a fatality due to turbulence. So that's another thing. When they say keep that seatbelt on, you really do want to pay attention to that seatbelt sign. Even if you're flying in smooth air and you're just sitting in your seat, just keep your seatbelt on, because you never know when you're going to enter something unforecasted or unreported from anybody else in front of you. And man, if you hit some turbulence and you don't have a seatbelt on. I've seen tray tables hit the ceiling. I've seen galley carts hit the ceiling. You just never, ever know. So really do keep that seatbelt on, even if the seatbelt sign is off and you're not getting up or going about the cabin. But anyway, that was just kind of a side note. I read that today when I was coming into the office. I couldn't believe it. But I say I couldn't believe it. I could believe it because I flew over this weather system, and it was gnarly. So anyway, we're getting beat up. In the Airbus, we have our turbulent penetration speed. For severe turbulence, we have severe turbulence procedures. Basically, if it gets so bad, you can turn the auto thrust off and, set an EPR or an N1, depending on what engine you got out there. So it wasn't bad enough where I needed to do that. However, it was bad enough where we actually had the autopilot kick off twice. Two separate times. Once actually on the descent it kicked off, but up in cruise we had this one bam, rocked the airplane, that flipped up one of the wings, and the autopilot kicked off momentarily, got her restabilized and got it back engaged. But we kept using a heading. I was flying, so I was using the heading bug, and I kept trying to go further north because I could see where the precip was. And the thing that was strange about it was all the precipitation and thunderstorms were relatively low level at that point. There wasn't extensive vertical development of these storms in the evening, but the air that was associated with the jet stream and this massive front that was moving through was just so turbulent, so rough. So we continue on. Give me a second here. We continue on. I'm deviating. Literally, we went up almost to the Great Lakes to come all the way back around into Nashville. Where is Nashville on here? Let's see if we can find it. I can close this. I'll go full screen. Oh, Nashville's around here somewhere. Anyway, where's this? That's Louisville, so it's going to be down here. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Oh, now I feel like I'm on a goose chase here. Well, either way. Anyway, I can't quite find it on the map, but we start our descent into Nashville. And same thing. We enter some clouds and some low visibility. Autopilot kicks off again, pitch the airplane up into about 1,000 feet per minute climb. And all we're doing at this point is just trying to maintain turbulent penetration speed. I think at our weight, we were doing 7.5 Mach, 7.4 Mach, somewhere in there. Trying to keep the speed within that, in that range. Auto thrust was actually doing a pretty good job on this one. Big Ralph, welcome to Private Pilot, man. Exclamation point, welcome. Glad to have you on board, man. But the auto thrust actually did a pretty decent job on this particular airplane, so it didn't have to disengage it. We didn't have any overspeeds or anything like that. And I didn't want to go up too high because I knew how rough the air was. I didn't even want to chance it. So we stayed, I think, below 35 for the duration of the flight. There were some guys trying 37 out, but it just, with your stall buffet margin up there, I didn't want to even risk it. So we start down the descent, and actually we beat the storm into Nashville, which was pretty cool. But it was a big horseshoe all the way around the airport. Winds were starting to pick up, but they weren't terrible when we actually landed. So we got in, everything was fine. But okay, there's our nighttime. Nothing like going across that storm system in the middle of the night at midnight, tired, second leg, just kind of a high continued. I wouldn't say super high stress, but stressful enough. And for the duration of the flight, it's exhausting. Got to the hotel a little after midnight. Actually, no, I think it was around 1 a.m. Got to the hotel around 1 a.m. And after a flight like that, you got to kind of unwind. So I think I was up till 3:30 in the morning or something, just trying to kind of unwind from the whole night's situation and check it in on friends and family and different parts of the country to make sure they're okay, because there were some tornadoes and some pretty bad damage here in Dallas. Anyway, that's all done. So now day 2 of the same trip, we're going Nashville to Orlando. At this point, that weather system has pushed out past where we were and is now kind of over here towards the greater Atlanta area. So guess what? We get to cross that whole frontal line again going into Orlando. Was a pretty relatively uneventful flight other than just getting beat up the whole time in turbulence. And then finally, Orlando all the way back to DFW on our last leg. Super late at night, was fine, pretty uneventful, but again, had to cross part of that storm, had some bumps, but luckily we were in a nice 321, brand new 321 out of Orlando. And it just, the 321 in turbulence is so much better than a 320 or a 319 even for that matter, and even honestly the 7.3. I feel like the 7.3, if you're sitting in the back and you're in turbulence, it's just kind of like, it's not hard because the wings really do flex on the 7.3, and I think it kind of cushions the feeling of turbulence. But for some reason, I always feel like I start to get nauseous, and I'm not motion sick at all in the back of a 7.3 on turbulence. But on the 321, it's heavy enough, it's big enough, it really kind of subdues that bounce, kind of fights back that turbulence, and it's not as abrupt as being in a 20 or a 19. So it was nice to take a nice 321 all the way into Dallas. Found out we had a minor fuel leak. That was interesting. Did our procedures. Everything was fine. But that wrapped it up. I got in at DFW. Oh, but we were late because of the storm in Nashville. We were late. They lost power. I have video when I was at the hotel of a roof being blown off of a commercial building at the hotel because the winds were, 50, 60 miles an hour. And they lost power at the airport, which delayed and canceled a bunch of flights. So by the time we got out, we were 5-6 hours delayed. So I landed in Dallas at the end of day 2 at, I think, almost 2:30 in the morning, 3 a.m., and then I got to drive an hour. So I didn't get home till almost 4 a.m. yesterday. But that was a 2-day trip. So that 2-day trip felt like 4 days, and I just was absolutely beat up after it. All day yesterday, I just kind of, it just sat around in silence, So that was my 2-day, aka 4-day trip. luckily I had a really good FO. He was sharp. He was. I was a little nervous at first when I saw his employee number because he was a new hire, but super sharp, great pilot. Didn't have to, do any additional coaching as you'd say, typical. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but a new hire, anybody new at anything is going to require a little extra help here and there sometimes. But he was super smart, sharp, great pilot, and made my life easier. I'll tell you that. Yeah, the back of the guppy has a lot of movement. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. 350 smooth. It just, when you're in the back, up front, it's not terrible. It's not bad at all. But up front for anything, it's not bad. I mean, you can have a super hard landing, and up front, it doesn't feel that hard at all. I mean, it feels firm, but if you're sitting in the back or on the gear, it's totally different. Mick Sesh, thank you for the continued support, man. Says, good luck with the move. I live 4 minutes from the ATL. Mick, thank you so much for the continued support, dude. Yeah, most of the move has been completed. It's basically just me and a couple items here that I got to bring over at the end of the month. But yeah, I'll be headed home to the new place tomorrow, which ought to be pretty fun. So get to be with the fam again. Been a long time. Aaron Hastings, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. It says, worst turbulence I've ever experienced was a CRJ 200 climbing through a thunderstorm in New York City. Oh yeah, Aaron, that's rough, man. I've been in some rough air coming out of that northeast coast, that northeast U.S., New York, Philly, D.C. It can get pretty rough coming in and out of there, too. You get those storms moving through, those nor'easters. But CRJ 200, that's scary. Good thing the airplanes stay together, man. Good to see you. Iron Man. Hey, man, it's been a while. Good to see you as well. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been streaming. We did, 3 streams in the last couple days? It'll probably be the end of it. I'm going to take a break for the next couple, like I said. And I probably won't be able to respond on the Discord because we don't have Wi-Fi at the new house yet, and the cell service is really, really bad. So unless I'm out of the house, I am literally in a dark hole, but it's fine. I kind of like it. Disconnect from all the noise, unplug, and just spend quality time with the fam. So, but we'll be back on Friday. I'm hoping we'll be back on Friday. 'Tis the plan. Thank you for the upgrade, Battalion. Appreciate you, man. Woke up en route somewhere over Colorado in the soup to find the wing of a Delta 739 flapping like a bird wings, and I'm bouncing everywhere. Oh, yeah. Was that recently, Dove? Because that's how it felt. I mean, just everybody on frequency was complaining, and there's not much you can do. I mean, when it's that rough, it was probably my top 3 continuous rough rides. I don't know if we ever hit. Maybe we got close to severe turbulence, because severe turbulence is defined or classified as loss of control of the airplane, right? So you literally cannot control it. I've been in severe turbulence twice in my career, like legit severe turbulence. So actual severe is pretty rare, but this flight, the duration of the moderate bumps was just exhausting. And I've done one before. I think I might have talked about it before, but one time we did a flight out of Denver. No, I think it was Vegas. Yeah, Vegas to Dallas, and it was moderate the entire way back, and there's just nothing you can do. But it wears on you. It wears on you. You get bumped around that much. Am I getting Starlink? Big Ralph, I'm going to bring my Starlink from our current house, or I should say the house that we're going to rent out. I'm going to bring that Starlink with me. I'm not going to buy another one because it's like $500 a dish. But I need the Starlink here until I leave. So we're not going to do any setup or sign any contracts for any internet over at the new house yet because it's all kind of garbage. It's like that radio dish thing, which I've done that rodeo before. So I'm going to bring Starlink to the new place, but that won't be till the end of the month. Never seen the wing flex like that? Yeah, you're surprised how much those wings will flex. You ever watch those stress test videos on the 7.3 or on any wing, really, where they literally bend the wing up until it snaps because they got to find what the limit is. So, I mean, you can really see some wing flex at that point. Man, this livery from Aliubi is just fire. Chris Stupper, yeah. That's the night I was flying, I'm sure. Because that came over Vegas, Thursday, Friday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What do you do when you have severe turbulence if you can't control the aircraft? Danny Roble, if you cannot control the aircraft, there's two things you need to do. Number one, all you're striving for is maintaining a normal pitch attitude, wings level. You want to keep the wings level. That reduces the G loading, so you got to keep the wings level. You no longer care about your altitude. You no longer care about climbing or descending. You just need to keep the wings level and a normal pitch attitude. The second thing you're worried about is speed. So if you're in severe turbulence, your auto thrust systems are probably not going to be able to manage. So you're manually going to have to take over, and you can set a thrust setting best suited. And that will depend on the airframe, the weight of the aircraft, and a couple of other factors. But it's either going to be like in the 737, it was nice. It showed that setting there in the FMS. In the Airbus, you look it up. We have a way we can look it up in our book. And or you can look at Green Dot, really. Or you can just kind of see where VLS is and see where VNE is and put it somewhere in the middle. But for most of the narrow-body 320 fleet, whether it's a 19, 20, 21, if you're in severe turbulence, depending on weight and altitude, it's going to range from 7.4 to 7.5, maybe 7.6 Mach. That's even about max. So you can just assume, hey, I'm just going to scroll back to 7.4. You're probably safe at that point. 1.5 times max load. 1.5 or 1.3. I can't remember either. Something like that. I think that's optimum is 1.3 VSO. So in the Airbus, your optimum cruise altitude, your maximum cruise altitude in the MCDU is based off of 1.3 VSO. So, something like that. 1.3 G. I can't remember the formula. It's been a long couple of days. But yeah, those are the two things you got to try to maintain: is pitch attitude and airspeed. Where was I when I experienced severe? The first time I was in a Beech 99, which we kind of talked about. I was over the panhandle of Texas. And the second time I experienced it was in an Embraer 170. It was a 170 or 190? Embraer 170. That's a steep bank. Are we legit? Yeah, we're legit. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh, man, I love this sim. Look at that. Gosh, that's awesome. But yeah, I was in an Embraer 170. I think it was a 170, 175. And I was going into, I want to say we were landing in Columbus. Columbus or Pittsburgh, somewhere up there. I'm pretty sure it was Columbus, Ohio. And I think, did I talk about it on the podcast? But no, that one was crazy. That one threw us up 2,000, 3,000 feet a minute, and we could not descend. We ended up flying well past Columbus, I think by 50 miles, kind of doing a spiral descent, coming back down, and that one was gnarly. That one was real gnarly. Didn't your iPad hit you in the face? Yeah, that wasn't severe turbulence, but it definitely hit me in the face. That was on a night flight hitting wake turbulence, I believe. To this day, I believe it was a wake that we crossed from Minneapolis down to Dallas, and I had my iPad sitting on the tray table in the cockpit, and well, bam, came up and cracked me right on the bridge of my forehead. Did not feel very good. Can you explain why people refer to clear air turbulence as air pockets? I don't know where the pockets translation comes from, but clear air turbulence most of the time is associated with the jet stream. And depending on the contours of the Earth and a couple other environmental factors, the jet stream is not just moving in a straight line. It curves, right? And the higher you go up in flight levels, that curve is changing, the direction is changing, and the same below it. So there are times when weather systems move through, or pressure systems will move through, that will have these basically creating eddies or currents in the air, in the jet stream, and you'll have strong vertical shears. Basically, instead of a nice gradual change of direction and speed with altitude, you have rapid changes of speed and direction of airflow due to these outside factors, which they create areas of clear air turbulence. So I guess an area is just referred to as a pocket, but I mean, that's the best I can to explain why they call them pockets. But Typically, they don't last too long because, like I said, it's a smaller area where these eddies are formed in the jet stream, and it makes it a little bit rough. Where have you had the best slice of pizza? This one's going to strike you surprisingly, Flight Force. So, New York obviously has great pizza. East Coast has got some good pizza. But if I'm being completely honest with you, the best slice of pizza I ever had, as of recently, was in, oh my gosh, I can't remember now if it was Austin or San Antonio. I think it was San Antonio. I have a picture of it. Hold on. I'm going to find the picture of it for you, dude. Hold on. There was a legit Italian pizza place. I'm Italian, so, but like legit Italian pies. And, dude, I put it in my mouth and I just couldn't believe it. I got to find it. I'm going to find this picture for you. Hold on. I don't remember. I want to say it was San Antonio. It was one of the few times where I actually sent it to my wife, because the number one rule, if you want to have a long-term relationship with your significant other in this career, when you're gone, when you're at work, your trip always sucks, the overnight always sucks, you're always tired, and there's never any good food. Because if you start posting stuff about, oh, it's awesome, this is good, look, check this out, hey, honey, look what I'm doing, sorry you're at home with the kids and they're screaming and you want to pull your hair out and the sink is clogged and the water's leaking, it just creates for unnecessary tension. So, rule number one to having a long, successful relationship, your trip always sucks. But this one I actually posted, and I said, this is the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And then she sent me a picture of like some Cheerios or something she was having for dinner because I wasn't home. I typically do the dinners when I'm at home. I'm still trying to find it. Hold on. It was, I have a picture, July 23rd. It was July 23rd, 2022, but it doesn't show where it was. Hold on. For some reason, it doesn't have a location with it. I'm pretty sure it was San Antonio. I don't think it's going to come through very good. And this is not the best picture. But, I mean, like it looks kind of greasy, but it was not. I had what did I have? I had a margarita with fresh basil, obviously fresh mozzarella, but then I added prosciutto. I don't know if you could see that or if it's going to come through. And I mean, it was so good. I didn't even try to make it look better. I said, I got to take a picture of this. So that was it. I'm pretty sure it was San Antonio. All right, we got to be getting close to starting down. Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. Let's set a lower altitude. I don't know what it is. Let's just set once we start down. And then we got to fade out the music here, and we got to get the sounds back up, and we got to start doing some work. Perfect. That song just ended. What was that song? It's got a good song. Thomas Skeidelberg. Interesting. What's the best barbecue place in Dallas? Ooh, my house. About to go back to the American campus soon. Chris Stupper, down there where you are at the campus, probably somewhere. I mean, Hard 8 is good, but it's really commercialized now, and it's not as good as it used to be. It's hard. I mean, I'll have to think about it. Chris Stupper, if I remember, send me something in the Discord. I'll see if I can get some info for you. But
I'm forever in amazement that something that weighs more than 100,000 pounds can be bounced around like a ball in the air. Shows that Mother Nature is a force to be reckoned with.
oh, yeah. Callie Simmer, thank you for the bank angle check. Right back at you, man. Indeed, it is. It is very aggressive. I mean, Mother Nature, you cannot mess with her. Cannot mess with her at all, my friend. All right, so we need to figure out what the weather is doing in Salt Lake. Anybody got a METAR for me? And then we will... I think we were supposed to land 16s. But we're on the Delta. Chris Stuper, though. Yeah, I'll see if I can send you something in Discord if I remember. I got to figure out... There's got to be some good places down there. Hard 8 is probably closest to you, which is kind of famous. And it's good. It's good, don't get me wrong. But it's not, like, amazing. I'm going to set 11 for the bottom. Pecan Lodge. There you go. I've heard of that place. Deep Ellum? I don't think I've ever been to Deep Ellum. I got 11 set for the bottom. If I can get a METAR here for somewhere, we will... I'm using SLC default, Randy. I didn't want to get that other one. That one that looked pretty bad on the payware. Winds 170 at 12. Thank you, Callie Simmer. So in that case, let's land 16. So we're going to land 16. I'm going to do 16 left. I know they land 16 right, but I don't want to taxi around and all that stuff. So we're going to land 16 left. So let's go arrivals, Salt Lake, 16 left. Flight Force, thank you for this $5 super chat. Oh, I want to do this. I bought a pizza oven making my own pizza. I posted some photos in the food channel. Flight Force, I'm going to check it out, man. I've been wanting to get a pizza oven for so long. I think I saw yours the other day. Do you have like a Oni or something? Which pizza oven do you have, man? I've been wanting to buy a legit pizza oven for a while. It's good. Definitely going to happen at the new house. Definitely going to happen. 160 at 12. So approaches 16 left, ILS, but we're just going to, we'll take it out to iron. So let's do that. Transition to what? Weber or Ogden? What? What? What does this mean? Oh. Let's do Weber. What the hell? Weber. Execute. And then we'll go into plan mode. We'll step through this here. Oh, there we go. That looks good. Scroll down the range there. Beautiful. We'll set up. We'll descend to 11,000 feet, and then we will do the ILS 16 left. We're going to hand fly it mostly the whole way down because I want to see how this airplane flies. All right, that's in the box. That looks good. We'll go back to the init. We'll do 30, 140. Even though I like flaps 40 for cinematic purposes, I think flaps 30 is what we should do. Is that standard on this thing? We'll do that. 109.5 and 164. We'll dial those up.
FYI, my username is pronounced Hensmeister, not Heinzmeister. I'm not the master of condiments. Love the content. Hope the Georgia weather is good enough to smoke up some Throttletek when you get home.
Oh. Hensmeister. Thank you so much for that $10 bank angle check. My apologies. You're not the master of condiments. Sorry about that. Yes, I do indeed hope to do some tri-tips. I actually have one in the freezer right now. I couldn't find... I went to the Costco out there in Georgia, and I could not find any tri-tips. So I'm going to have to find a butcher place that's got tri-tips. I think it's like a Midwest thing. I think tri-tips are a Midwest situation. I have one frozen though in my deep freezer right now that I saved that I really want to bring with me. I was thinking about bringing that in my crew bag tomorrow. Do you think TSA would have a problem with that? 109.5 active. 109.5, 164 set on both sides. Look, we have the fancy new little radio thing here. That's pretty cool. 109.5 on both radios. I have it set up for the ILS, so I better get ILS on this one. And we're going to do auto brakes too. I'm getting a little bit of chop here, so let's go ahead and set that seatbelt sign on. Oh, don't want to do that. Everyone take their seats. What is field elevation for this bad boy? 4277. Oh, this ought to put us on this unscheduled descent here. Forgot to set that earlier. $42.50, close enough. Is that going to mess with us? I think it'll catch up. Drag required. You're fine. You'll be all right. All right, let's get terrain on because there is high terrain out here. That's looking good. All right, we got our minimums. Oh, we do need to set our baro. Cat 1 ILS 200. Radio baro, interesting. Oh, radio 200. Because I don't want to do the scroll wheel for 4,000 feet. But I did learn something cool about how to copy this over. So if I go radio 200 and then I go up here and I go both on one. Let's see, let me make sure I'm clicking the right one. Control panel. Displays, both on one. And then I go back to normal. It basically copies all that information and puts it over here. Nifty little trick I learned watching somebody on the jump seat. So, and it works just like in the real airplane. That's pretty cool. Hats off PMDG. I mean, I knew it would work because it's PMDG. So 29089 is set out of 18,000 feet. We're entering the juice views down here with some more snowy mountains. Let's get the flight recorder up, and Flight Force is coming in with another $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, bought a pizza oven from Italy called Pizza Party. Ooh, from Italy, so it's like legit. Took a week to come, but I did start on an Oni. Italians, on a Uni? Uni? Italians do it better. Amen to that, brother. Thank you so much for another $5 super chat. I'm going to put that into my, my, what's it called? Pizza Party Fund. I'm going to start a Pizza Party Fund so I can order one from Italy, just like you, Flight Force. Put the link in the, or if you got a link, put it in the Discord or send me a DM, because I really want to start making our own legit pizzas. Alright, here we go. We got a good METAR down there. Temperature 6, a little bit chilly. I was hoping we would land 1.6, but oh, these views ought to be good. Oh man, look at this. Coming in over the mountains, getting bumped around. Typical Salt Lake day here. Bourbon pizza, Kevin Thomas. A bourbon barbecue chicken pizza. I used to make that. I haven't made one in a really long time. But a bourbon barbecue chicken pizza. And by barbecue chicken, I mean I would take a whole chicken, smoke that puppy properly low and slow. Wow, we are getting ripped around out here. Then some homemade barbecue sauce, fresh basil. Oh, dude. I could eat 3 of them. Now I'm getting really hungry. I got a salad that I'm going to eat. It's so boring. You're making it not seem delicious at all. Let's do a speed intervene here, so to 250, because it looks a little bit spicy out here. Let's look at this wing bouncing around. I know, I'm already hungry now. Thank you guys, appreciate that. I was going to go home and go fishing, but now I need to go buy a pizza or something. Oh man, look at this. I should probably turn VPilot up in case anybody's in here. Salt Lake City traffic, Alaska 357. We're coming down the Delta arrival out of 12,000 feet. We're setting up for the LS-16 left, Salt Lake. Ah, slam cannon. Dude, I'm sorry, man. We just totally forgot about your discussion we were supposed to have. I have some dough proofing as we speak. Gonna throw it on the pizza oven. Oh my gosh, dude. Slam, I need to come to your place, have some pizza, and then we'll just do interview prep. How's that? Real quick though, common question I have seen a lot is, what do you do if you show up to the gate and your captain is drunk? What are you gonna do? Or you smell alcohol on their breath? That's a real human resources question. Like real, and it sounds kind of silly maybe to the general public, but that's like a real, I mean, makes you think. You know, what are you gonna do? What's your steps? Let's get the engine anti-ice on here. But I will try, Slam. I will try to get I will ask my buddies, try to get a legit gouge for you. Have you found one at all online or anywhere? But I will ask a couple of my chat groups, see if I have any info for you. There is a Salt Lake City in development by Pacific Island. Interesting. I'll have to look into that one. The one that's on the store right now, Marketplace, does not look good at all. So I did not purchase it. Man, look at this. How good does this sim look? Here's your realism view. Oh my gosh. The reflection on the wings. I miss the sim. Ask the captain to share. Jesus. It kills me that my son doesn't like pizza. I mean, who does that? Callie Simmer, that is wild. Your son doesn't like pizza? If my future son doesn't like pizza, I'm just be like, well, I'm making one, so if you're hungry, you'll eat it. You'll get hungry enough to eat it. No, I don't know. That's what my parents would do to me. But like, if I didn't like anything, because growing up, we didn't have a lot of money at all. And if I didn't like dinner, that didn't matter. That was, you will either eat it or you're going to eat it tomorrow for breakfast, because there ain't nothing else coming out of that kitchen. Still don't like the chain pizzas. I agree that the chain pizzas are not awesome. They're really not. I used to like, and I still kind of do like, the occasional, if I really want to be bad to my body, I like getting the stuffed crust pizza. What is it, from Pizza Hut? I mean, if you really just want to clog your arteries up and not be healthy, order one of those puppies, get some garlic sauce to dip on there. Okay, we got to stop. This is like a Food Network show. We're on an approach here. 73900 Salt Lake City. Let's do this. Eat the pizza or I'll put you on the 737. There you go. That's a good, hell yeah. I'd be eating all kinds of pizza. Big Ralph, I agree. It does look like it's from Flight Simulator 98. Roberto, good to see you, man. Chatting about you earlier in the stream. I'm good. How are you? I am getting ready to fire up X-Plane this, the next time I'm back to the office, Roberto. I'm going to get to work on the bindings. But I guess we can pop off the Throttletek cam already as we get our 737 ready for approach. We need a cooking show now. Show off your barbecues. Chris Stuper, I know, man. I need to get another I need another grill, because the one thing I don't like about my new Camp Chef is it doesn't have the slide to grill feature. So I really can't get the grates hot enough. But it, man, does it provide some nice smoke flavor. I'll tell you that, with a little smoke box in there. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about food. I'm done talking about barbecues. We're going to fly this approach. I got record up and ready to go. We'll join outside of Iron Man. What's the data on here? I don't want that. I want waypoint info. No. I guess do 9,000, 11,000 at Iron Man. That's fine. So he's on a 7-mile final. That looks good. We'll stay at 11. We'll join outside of Iron Man. We'll go out over the lake here. Lots of people asking for the X-Plane bindings. Appreciate your help as always. Yeah, Roberto, I'll do it for sure. I haven't fired up X-Plane in quite some time, just because, you know, as you can imagine, Microsoft is quite the showstopper when it comes to visuals. But we are going to be in X-Plane here soon, and hopefully we'll be flying the new Tolas 320 Neo, so I'll be able to bind that up as well. Can you get a side stick for the Camp Chef? Lumini, if you do win the lotto, get a Camp Chef Woodwind Pro. That's all you need, my friend. If you want a legit pellets, like a good pellet smoker, or just get the Woodwind SG24, whatever it is. Also very good. I feel like you can make some banging mac and cheese to go with those barbecue Citizen HD. Yo, you know me all too well, man. I make a mean mac and cheese. I get the blowtorch out for my mac and cheese. Crust. You guys, I'm done. I'm done reading chat. I'm done. Now I'm going to get into how I make mac and cheese. But just know this, I bring out a legit blowtorch, and it is good. Real talk, I'd watch a flight sim cooking show hosted by a flight sim streamer. Honestly, you know what? If my sim was at the house, that legit could be a good, like, something interesting. Because you could do long flights, right? You could set up for maybe a 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour, or 5-hour flight. Once you get to cruise, you switch the cameras over, and you do a cooking show, prep and cook and all that, and then you're done, and then you go and land the plane. You're on to something there. Who said that? Stephen Hayner? You're on to something, my friend. I might take you up on that. If I can ever get proper internet at a house that I live at, and I can sim at the same location that I cook, I guess we just have to do another Late to Talk barbecue. Man, I'm so hungry right now. Remember how I said I was thinking I might do another stream this evening? Well, I think you guys ruined that for me because I just need to go home and eat something. Flight deck to kitchen. Oh, that's good. That's real good. I make it, 3 cheese, nincompoop. I can put however many cheese you want on there, man. We need a smoker cam. Slam, done. Done, dude. I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to be cool here, since you're not going to look at chat now. Mac and cheese, mac and cheese, mac and cheese.
Oh. Callie Simmer, thank you for the $5 banking. I'll check, dude. Oh my gosh. Mac and cheese, mac and cheese. Appreciate it, Callie Simmer. You the man. All right, let's do a speed intervention here. 210 knots. We're bringing her back. What are the speeds again? Flaps 5, 250. So we're good to go all the way to flap 5. Once we start slowing down, this AOA starts getting high. Yeah. Salt Lake City traffic, Alaska 357. We're a beam Ironman for the ILS 16 left. Salt Lake City. Now I'm going to go a little bit past that, and then I'm just going to direct us to Ironman. So let's go heading select. Spin, baby, spin. Heading 015. Heading select. Flaps 5. I love the flap sounds on this airplane. Gosh, I love this flap sounds. And right now, let's go ahead and continue a right turn. Let's slow to 180 knots. All right, so I got to get this thing to intercept the freaking localizer, not the path. I got to go VLOC on approach. Glide path. Why is it giving me a glide path? At least I got the loc. We'll join on a heading as 110. 110, 11,000 feet. Hold shift was... Arid, where you been all my life, man? I forgot all about that. Thank you. Interesting. I don't know why I got a glide path instead of glide slope. Have to wait for an intercept. Let me see if it is loc glide path. VOR loc. Loc is captured. Turn and final. Salt Lake City traffic, Alaska 357. Turn and final just outside of Ironman for 16 left, Salt Lake City. Flight recorder is on. You have to wait for loc intercept to arm approach. Well, that is lame as can be. Let's try that. Let's stay on VOR Loc. Now I can't disengage. Go VOR Loc. Alright, we're on the Loc. Approach. Glide slope. What? Oh, clear runway. Delta's clear runway. Roger that. Happy landing. Thank you. ILS freak was set. Yeah, here we go. Here comes the Loc and slope. Now we're coming down. So you do have to be on the localizer before arming the approach. Here comes glide slope. Single channel. Go around altitude. We're going to set 10,000 feet. Ground altitude is set 10,000 feet. ILS single channel 180. Here we go. What's our final approach fix altitude? Yip at 6,000 on slope. Is what we're looking for. Our final speed is 30 at 139. Call it 140. We're still at 180. We're still a little ways out. We're fine here. Have I done a go around a 737? Yes, I believe I have. Man, I was hoping it was going to be nice and clear here, but... If you activate approach before low signal range or reverse the glide path, just toggle the approach button. Alright, maybe I'll just toggle that next time. Thank you. Oh man, these views coming into Salt Lake. Always nice. Is there that much snow on the ground out here right now? I don't even know. Runway is in sight. Let's start dialing her back. 160. I think we can go all the way to 10 right before we have to get our gear down, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go. Oops, I hit my Bravo. Flaps 10. Gosh, the flap sounds are so good on this PMDG. So good. There is Zach. Nice. Well, this is realistic then. I just want to... Alright, we should actually just fly it though, right? Oh, we're starting to get a nice little wind shift coming in there. We are over approaching the lagoon. Alright, this little position thing is annoying. Let's get that off. I like having my bird on. Do we want to look at the HGS? I guess you just fly it in the circle, right? Ah, hell, let's try it. Let me, because I don't have a bunch of hands, I'm going to set our speed 140. I know it's an alpha limit there, that's fine. I'm going to take control of the auto thrust. And we're going to go gear down. I'm going to turn the autopilot off. And we're going to go flap 15. I'm going to configure way early because I want to practice hand flying this thing. I tell you what, let's just do this. Let's go flaps 30. And let's get configured. Alright, so I got to put the little circle thingy in the circle, right? Is that all you got to do? 140 knots, gear down. I didn't arm the speed brake. I'm going to try to fly this using the HUD. So I'm legit using the HUD here. I'm trying not to cheat. I got to find that proper power setting here for approach. I'm a little bit high. All right, so we're on slope. Now, this is a stupid question. Does this circle that I'm following in the HGS, does that provide lateral guidance as well? As long as I keep it dead center? I think it would, right? Like that's a dumb question. All right, he's got us in sight. Salt Lake City traffic, Alaska 357, just outside the Yipper. out of 6,900 for the visual 16 left, Salt Lake. Start switches, yeah, we're SOL. I'm not taking my hand off the throttles now. We'll survive. Oh, I do not like having this there. I had a hard time arming this last time. There we go, speed brake armed. Need a little bit more juice. I'm really trying not to cheat by looking at my PFD, and it's hard. I keep catching myself looking down at my PFD. I think, you know, you do this enough times, you get used to it. I could really see where if you're in, you know, low vis, but like maybe just haze and fog, where it would be pretty helpful, help you with those lights. Man, we are getting bumped around though. You see that? I don't like how bright it is. I wish I could lower the opacity. Is that a setting up top? I'm sure it is. I feel like it's too opaque. It's obscuring the runway. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll get another back on it though. Ah, see, I keep wanting to climb with this HUD. Oh, get back down. This is so weird to me. Our gear is down, right? Yeah, gear down, 3 green, flaps 30 indicating. Start switches are not in continuous. We'll survive, hopefully. A little bit fast. VAP plus 10. We need to start walking it back a tad. I will tell you what, it does... I think it's easier to follow than the traditional localizer and glide slope on your PFD. However, I have a hard time seeing the runway. Wines and Airbus. That vertical speed seems kind of weird to have there in the HUD. I'm going to carry a little extra speed with me because it's really shifty down here. Start coming back a little bit. Alright, we're looking good now. We're looking good now.
Approaching minimums.
When do you transition to visual? Rip. We're just going to follow her all the way to the pavement. Hopefully I fill air.
100.
Try my best flight deck to sim impression right now.
50.
Check. Close.
20.
Hold the attitude. Oh my gosh, we're so high. Oh no, floater out. Spoilers. What's happening here? Reverse green. I wonder what that clicking is. Manual brakes. Maybe it was that spoiler lever conflict. What was that landing rate? I have no idea. Get this stupid thing away from me. That was weird. It was weird. That was weird. Let's clear the runway so this guy can land. Yeah, the reverse bindings are kind of weird. It's like conflicting with the spoiler. Why can't I turn this nose wheel? Turn, baby, turn. HUD needs a declutter. Somebody said there's a VFR declutter. Alright, we're clearing now. Salt Lake traffic, Alaska 357. We're clear, 16 left, exit gate, Salt Lake. Check close starts at 20, not 50. Ah, rip. Alright, this airport is so terrible that I'm just going to park right over here. So don't be mad at me. But we can, let's see, everything's disarmed, they're stowed. And let's go flaps up. I'm going to leave all the light switches on. because I don't want to have them clicking. Standard American Airlines type landing in the 7.3, bud. Thank you, Roberto. Hi, man. The throttle's making it a hell of a lot easier trying to maintain speed, I tell you what. Instead of having like a 3-inch or 4-inch range of motion, having full motion on the 7.3 is a definitely game-changing. All right, we'll go ahead and park her right here, and we'll get into the replay. I'm not even on the proper line, but that's just, this airport sucks. So, Delta Alaska merger. I like setting the parking brake, so much fun. That's done. We'll turn that off, and we can watch the replay. Is there anybody landing that we need to spectate? I think everybody's down. Oh, there's a guy exiting over there. Ooh, look at that. Merkin. Nice Airbus there, sir. Alright. Not bad. Let's see how we did in replay mode. I will go into replay.
Satellite City, American 519. Clear runway 16. Will text to India Bravo.
Replay mode here. He's going to the ramp. We're going to disconnect from VATSIM. I just triggered your Alexa? What did I say? Alright, I'm just going to keep it. Let's do... I forget if we have to set flaps. I don't think we have to set flaps. Let's try this. Let's go replay here. Here they come. Get rid of Navigraph. Kind of cool watching the flaps come out all the way here. Alright, so they're at, what are they at right now? 5? Let's scoot forward on the replay. There's good. Resume. Sky Dolly, I don't use that. I use Flight Recorder. Flight Recorder free on the Flight Sim TO. It's the best replay system out there, in my opinion. You can save replays if you want to, even. So you can do 2 legs, like save your replay, do another leg, and then watch your first replay from your second leg. It's pretty cool. Flight Recorder on the Flight Sim TO. Man, just that start-stop sound on the flaps are awesome. Halfway frozen lake out there, looking good. Flaps 30. Love it. Oh, I love that 7.3 with the flaps 30. Can I do flap 40 just to cinematic purposes? I can. I know we didn't land 40, but I can show 40 in the external view. It just looks so much cooler. Look at that. I was always amazed, even as a little kid, when I would sit on the 7.3, and I'd sit right here on the wing. This is my favorite view. And on landing, every now and then they do a flaps 40, and you'd be sitting there, and I was just amazed at these massive devices hanging off the wing. Isn't that cool? That is so neat. I love that view. Something right here. Just this massive flap hanging down. Looks so cool. Nice shadow down there. We'll watch this one come in from... we're still a little ways out, aren't we? I'll leave you guys with the long one. Let's get to our touchdown. Let's zoom it up here. Right about there.
Terrain.
Wing view it from this side. Seeing the spoilers working, that's pretty cool. I think it's what, after what, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, something like that, roll spoilers? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Scott, right behind the wing, flap action, best action. I flared early like an Airbus pilot. Look at that, flaring at 50 feet. Hey, I think I saved it though. That didn't seem hard. That didn't seem hard at all. PMDG and Flight Recorder, they must have used Flight Recorder when they designed this thing, because it literally works flawlessly with the record. Let's pause, bring it back. I mean, look, and it all resets by itself there. All you gotta do is reset your spoiler lever. That's pretty cool. I should probably turn the parking brake off. Is the parking brake on? No, it's off. Wait, it's off. There we go. Let's turn the parking brake off for landing. Yeah, Scotty, too. A default tower view would be sweet. Let's see how we did. Definitely flared it like an Airbus pilot. It's called Flight Recorder. Hands. Flight Recorder. Let's see if I can find the link to it here before I sign off. Yeah, oh yeah, we're flaring way high. Let's make sure we didn't tail strike it though. I let her come down. I got scared. Oh yeah, I mean, that's a pretty standard American Airlines, American pilot landing right there in the 7.3. As Roberto says, that's pretty standard. Hey, we didn't hit the tail and we didn't bend anything, so I call that a success in my book. All right, we are gonna get out of here. Sail's gonna get rolling. Thank you for the Sunday stream. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you. Flight sim, guys, is not too bad for an Airbus pilot. Ailerons into the wind. Good to see you, man. How's this for timing? Well, depending if you like replays or not, man, because I am signing off right now. I'm gonna go home and I gotta figure out something to smoke out because you guys got me talking barbecue. So, Roberto, I don't know why the wings jerk like this. PMDG says it's realistic. I do not think it's realistic at all. They've defended it publicly. It seems jittery. I don't know. I don't know. I still think the Phoenix 320 has the best wing flex simulated of any airplane on any sim. The wing flex on the Phoenix is just perfect. It's not overdone, not underdone. Looks really good. But yeah, I feel like this needs to be smoothed out, or this is from FSX plaguing them. Maybe, who knows. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on the stream. Thank you guys for the donations, the support, the gifted subs. I probably won't see you until Friday evening. We might be doing something. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you enjoyed a little Sunday stream. Until the next time I get to come back here to the V1 HQ and be live with y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy. See yas in chat. And I'm out of here. See ya!